Long ago, in a quiet village nestled beside a flowing river, there lived a humble potter named Elias. The village was small, the roads were narrow, and the nights were often dark and silent. Elias' house stood near a lonely road where travelers would often pass after the sun had set. Elias was poor. His house was made of mud and clay, just like the very pots he shaped every single day. His clothes were simple, and his meals were modest, but his heart was full of a warmth that could rival the brightest flame. Outside his house, near the door, sat a small clay lamp. Every evening, without fail, Elias would clean that lamp, fill it with oil, and light it just before darkness fell. The soft, golden light guided travelers, walking along the dark and winding road. The people in his village often laughed at him. "Elias," they would say, "why do you waste your oil every night? You struggle to earn, yet you burn oil for strangers who don't even know you exist." Elias would just smile gently and reply, "Light that is shared is never wasted. If it helps even one person, it is worth more than the oil it burns." His wife, Miriam, worried silently. She loved Elias dearly, but fear often filled her heart. One evening, she finally spoke her mind. "We barely earn enough to get by. Some nights, we don't even know what tomorrow will bring. Why must you light the lamp every single night?" Elias looked at the glowing lamp and said softly, "This road is dark. Someone out there might be tired, or afraid, or lost. If our small light gives them hope, then our home is already rich." Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The seasons changed. Elias continued his work shaping pots under the warm sun, selling a few in the market and earning just enough to survive. And every evening, the lamp was lit. Then came one terrible night. Dark, heavy clouds covered the sky. A torrential rain poured down, and strong winds shook the entire village. The road outside disappeared into an abyss of darkness. Inside the house, Elias checked his oil jar and his heart sank. Only a few drops of oil remained. Miriam whispered anxiously, "If you light the lamp tonight, we'll have nothing left. Tomorrow's storm may be worse." Elias stood silent for a long moment. He listened to the fierce storm raging outside, the howling wind, the lashing rain, the complete darkness. Then he said calmly, "If someone loses their way on a night like this lamp might just save a life." Without another word, he poured the last of the oil into the lamp and lit it. The tiny flame flickered, dancing wildly in the wind, but it stayed alive. Hours passed. The rain continued to fall relentlessly. Suddenly, through the noise of the storm, Elias heard a faint sound, a low groan. He rushed outside and saw a man collapsed on the ground, right near the lamp. The man was injured, exhausted, and barely breathing. Elias and Miriam carefully carried him inside. They cleaned his wounds, gave him warm food, and let him rest by the fire. By morning, the man opened his eyes. With a weak voice, he said, "If not for that lamp, I would have died out there." He revealed that he was a royal messenger, carrying important documents for the king. If those papers had been lost in the storm, many innocent people would have suffered greatly. Before leaving, the man offered Elias a heavy pouch filled with gold coins. "This is your reward for saving my life," he said. Elias gently pushed the pouch back. "I did not light the lamp for gold," he replied. "I lit it for anyone who needed light." The messenger bowed deeply, his eyes filled with gratitude, and left. A few days later, the entire village was shocked when royal guards arrived, followed by the king himself. The king stood before Elias's humble home and spoke loudly for all to hear. "I came to see the man whose kindness shines brighter than any wealth." He rewarded Elias with land, better tools, and a permanent, prominent place in the market. But then he gave a royal order. "From this day forward, a lamp shall burn every single night on this road, in Elias's name, so that no traveler ever has to walk in darkness again." Years passed. Elias was no longer poor, but he remained the same humble, kind-hearted man. And every night, the lamp outside his house continued to glow, a beacon of hope in humanity. Because some lights are not meant to make us rich, they are meant to make us human.